Okay, so this is a trick for anybody with a Jeep Commander that's having trouble with water leaking out of the sunroof into the cabin. What was happening here with this thing? This is the car we just bought for my wife. It was the only vehicle in the world she was willing to drive, which made it kind of hard to find one of these, but she loves it. We're both happy now. The problem we were having shortly after we brought this thing home, let's get the lights on here. How do we do that? There we go. The problem we were having just after we brought this thing home was after a rain or a trip through the car wash, something like that, we'd get water dripping, and it would be dripping out of these little screw covers on the grab handle here, and we'd have water all over the floor. It was a mess. Turns out, after a little bit of homework, what happens with these things is there's a drain hole up in the sunroof down in the corner here, and I'll see if I can show you where it is, but it's hard to see. And there's a tube in there that drains all the way down along the windshield here and down and drains underneath of the driver's side here. And I think if you take all this trim off down here and up here, you can get to it and actually see the tube. I didn't go through all that. After a little bit of reading about how this thing actually works, I saw some videos of folks taking it all apart and pulling the tube out and other stuff, but I'm a lazy SOB, so let me show you what I did. I got this idea from another problem I had with this old beast over here. The heater core was plugged up. I wasn't getting any heat. The engine temp was up, but no heat, so I cut in the heater hoses and did something similar to what we're going to do here. And the trick in this case is a piece of tubing. On the end here, we've got a rubber stopper. Come on, focus, buddy. Now you can see that good enough. This is actually a part that came with a Mighty Vac setup, if you've seen one of those. If not, it's a really handy $80 tool for the garage. Everybody ought to have one if you do your own mechanical stuff. What I did was wrap some electrical tape, about, we'll call it 6 inches up the tube here. And what we're going to do with that, see if I can get a shot of this hole in here. Maybe we'll get some light on it. You look down in here, you can see way down there in the corner, this is the driver's side of the skylight. You can just barely make it out here. There's a little drain hole in there. It's kind of hard to get at because it's behind this mess here and you really can't get directly to it. What happens is water collects in this trough here and it drains through that hole, and ideally it drains out underneath the driver's side. But if that's plugged up, what's going to happen is the water's got nowhere to go and it's going to flood over here and it's going to get down. You can see the headliner's kind of wet there. It's going to get down and drain through that piece of trim I showed you and right onto the driver's feet, which does not lead to a happy wife. So I tried just gently blowing it with some compressed air through the end of our tube here that I showed you we made. Just stick this end down in that hole there. You'll have to feel around to get it. And the electrical tape, you want to push it all the way till the electrical tape's touching the edge of that drain hole, and that'll make it fairly airtight, good enough for what we're doing. And blow some compressed air in the other end here and through this rubber stopper is really just a convenient way to get a nice seal on the end of the blower here hooked up to the air compressor. And I didn't want to go any more than about 25 pounds of air because I didn't want to blow something up inside of there. So it blew a little bit of air in and wasn't having any luck. What I ended up doing that worked really well is poured some CLR in there, not much, like I put like a tablespoon in, maybe 2, and then some hot water behind it. Let that sit for about 20 minutes or so, and then got the compressed air out again, and it is draining just fine now. You can see we got some water here. I'm gonna pour it in and tilt the car a little bit so you can see it drain, and it's just draining right out of there all over the garage floor. So everything's working good. I can't see a drain hole in the other side. I don't know if there's one over there or not. I don't think there is. I haven't read about anybody reporting one that's there. But if you have the same trouble and are lazy like me, now that you know what to do, you could get this done in a couple minutes here. I've been out in the garage for about 20 minutes, and 5 of that's making the YouTube video. So if you appreciate this and it helps you out, let me know, and maybe this will be the start of a wonderful YouTube career.